nearly 50 years, my parents have lived on this remote Scottish island, surrounded by natural beauty, wildlife, and a flock of seaweed-eating sheep. But age and ill health now mean their unique way of life here is approaching its final chapter. And while there's so much work still to be done on the farm, I've paused my career as a TV reporter to come home to help. So over the next 3 months, join me as I move on to other news.
Can you tell me how they go, Simon?
What? It's all as one. They're all together.
Throughout my whole childhood, the tractor and all other forms of machinery here were my dad's domain.
You don't remember how the gears go?
No, because I don't do anything often enough. And I lose confidence.
But after his diagnosis with Alzheimer's disease, it's yet another skill for Mum to master.
Now gently go back again.
Like pretty much everything else though, she's up to the task. Handing over responsibility is hard.
Right, I'm out of gear now.
But thankfully we have family friend Una and my partner Faye on hand to keep things calm. And then, once the trailer is hitched...
And now if you could get the stuff out from underneath, Paul Matt, please.
We're off down the other end of the island.
When it got obvious that Dad wasn't really going to be able to drive it anymore, I realised I'd have to learn it, and I was really nervous because it's a very big, noisy engine, and it's very hard, the clutch, it's very hard on your muscles, and I don't like engines particularly, and I'm never that comfortable with them until I get used to them. So the other day when I drove it, yes, I was nervous beforehand about doing it, but I was also really chuffed to be doing it because every time I learn a new skill, I feel less vulnerable. I feel much more confident in myself as being an independent person, which I've always been. I always felt I could do most things. But I've discovered so many things that Dad did that developed over the years and that I never did, and I'm having to learn them. And that is hard, but it's also good for me. Keeps my brain going.
The island of Owskerry is home to so many varieties of bird life. There are no land-based predators here and no vermin at all, so ground nesting birds of all varieties can occasionally afford to relax a little. But our flock of sheep also now characterise the island too, after my parents swapped conventional white sheep for a rare breed native to another Orkney island called North Ronaldsay more than 25 years ago.
Everyone locally told us that they would be completely wild and we'd never be able to get them in again. And we were mad to try some, so we tried it in a small place on the south coast. It was only when we really started farming them over the whole island we realised just how absolutely perfect they are for this island. They eat nearly all the types of weed, and we have nearly every type of weed that comes in the UK, anywhere on the beaches. A lot of them, they love all the natural grasses on the island. Over the years I've come to admire them so much. They're intelligent. You try being a sheep in an environment like this, you need to have your wits about, you need to know about the tides, you need to know about the weather, and they're so brilliant at surviving. And they have their lambs. They get up straight away. Lambs are on their feet within minutes. They're running within half an hour. They're uncatchable within 24 hours.
That's a new predator for you.
They are incredible, incredibly well adapted, but they're also real survivors.
Is there any chance you could get a loop over that?
Over this?
Have you got a long enough rope for that? I always tie around here too. This is a protuberance that...
Would that be okay?
Yeah,
Through there?
that's there.
Yeah.
Can't rise up. Brilliant.
Okay.
Gathering sheep is a regular task over the summer months, and although they can be a little frustrating when they run past you, it's definitely good exercise.
We've established the second largest flock of North Ronaldsays in the world, as far as I know, after North Ronaldsay itself. We've established a gene pool that is second only to theirs and has been well managed, so we've got a tremendous spread of colour. We've improved the quality of the wool so that the wool that we're producing is all very high quality.
Dad's knees aren't quite what they used to be, but that doesn't get him out of playing a part in the herding process.
That one's done, that one isn't. That one's not yet. Got it.
Okay, that one's not.
Today's task is to dose the ewes and lambs in order to protect them against worms, which is a common yet largely preventable problem faced by all sheep farmers.
Come on, up. That's it. Up you get.
With Dad supervising, Mum and Faye have a good system in place for getting the job done.
Yeah, there we go. Those ewes are all done.
They're the oldest sheep breed in the UK, and they've got good reason to be. Their wool is two types of wool. The underfur is the finest wool in the British Isles, or amongst the finest.
Come on then, down you go, little sheepies. Oh.
The outer layer is what protects them from the weather. And the colourings are all symmetrical. So that they have this wonderful coats that when they come off, make beautiful rugs. I think we're done.
Yeah, let me just check this one.
Here's one.
Yeah, okay.
Someone's done a lovely squidgy poo right in the gateway.
This way, turn around for freedom.
The breed is endangered. It's a very rare breed, still in the British Isles. And I think it would be tragic if Orkney lost this flock. I think it would be very, very, very sad and a great loss.
After a long and physically strenuous day at the sheep, it's time to enjoy the amazing view from the front garden. This far north, there are often long evenings of beautiful sunset, right up until midnight. But tonight we're waiting for the sky to get as dark as it possibly can, this close to the solstice. That's because Mum is taking family friend Una and her children Cormac, Fergus and Maeve on a very special adventure to the other side of the island.
We are an SSSI for a few breeds, most importantly the Storm Petrels, known as the Stormies. We've got one of the largest colonies in the UK here, and they nest mostly in the ruins of the Kirk. It's on a previously prehistoric Kirk site that they took the stones from, but the Kirk that ended in the 12th century had probably been used for many hundreds of years before that. The Kirk is particularly spectacular to go to at night when the birds are changing over, because one parent sits on the nest in the day and the other parent's at sea, and they swap over at night. And the one on the nest makes two different calling sounds, a churring sound and a yelpy call sound. You never hear anything quite like that anywhere else. But the most important thing about it is that it makes the whole ground hum and throb if they're all going at once. But when you get in there and you lie on the ground and they start to flit around your face, literally as close to your face as they can get without touching you, and you don't see them coming, they're so fast that they're a shadow before you know it, flitting past your face. And you never feel frightened by them, although they're so close to you flitting about, because they're so silent and so gentle. It all feels so gentle and benign, and you just feel overawed by being allowed to listen to that sound of birds deep under the stones, and they fly in at speed, sitting on their nest, trusting that their mate will come back from the sea. And of course sometimes they don't, because the gulls are overhead, circling, trying to pick them off. But it is a wonderful experience. Plus you're lying on the ground, you're seeing the stars, you're seeing the light flash from the lighthouse, you're hearing the other birds around, the sheep sometimes approach, and you see the silhouettes of them sort of looking at you, sniffing you, the lambs being a bit curious, wondering what's going on. And then finally you get cold and tired and you feel like you've experienced it enough, and you start to stumble home in the dark across uneven ground in the tussocks and get back to the warm house. It's an amazing experience, and I've never taken anyone there who hasn't been affected by it.
Thank you for watching episode 1 of On to Other News. Next time, Mum will show you how to hand shear a sheep, and Faye spots a family of orcas just off the island. You're stuck with me now for the next 3 months. How do you feel about that?
Very relieved that I'm not trying to hold this burden on my own. Knowing I've got someone I can talk to about all the problems, and he'll help me get things sorted out for the inevitable that we'll have to leave at some point. Maybe not this year, maybe not next, but at some point we will have to say goodbye.